Skeletor, evil lord of destruction, as seen on TV. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Flashback Toys and Collectibles, and today I'm opening up a as seen on TV version of Skeletor manufactured by the Super7 toy company. So this figure has some retro packaging that matches the original Masters of the Universe toys from the 80s. On the back it shows some artwork at the top with Skeletor and his Havoc Staff. Twist his waist and he swings back with a punch. So that sounds like the same feature that would have been on the original Skeletor, and we'll compare that here in just a few. Okay, let's open this up. So I'm just going to cut the bubble off this and keep the card back, even though it's in kind of rough shape. Let's pop this bubble off now. So I can just store this card back with the rest of my card back collection. Okay, so here's what comes inside the box. We got the Skeletor figure. We have a Skeletor sword. This is a full sword. There's also a half sword and a Havoc Staff. And the colors on this look really cool. I like how it's the purple and gray, which would have matched the cartoon or Filmation version of Skeletor. And we also have a card here, which I thought this was a comic, but it's not. It's just a card that shows some information about Skeletor from toy to tune. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe brought action and adventure into living rooms around the world. And the fun continued with exciting Masters of the Universe action figures. In order to deliver the cartoon series on time, the toy designs were simplified for animation so that the figures did not always match the characters children saw on TV. Until now. And here is the end product by Super7 of the as seen on TV or Filmation version of Skeletor. Okay, let's check out his weapons. Here's the Havoc Staff. I can pop into his right arm. Kind of a tight fit, but once it's in his hand, it fits nice. Let's try out the swords. Here is the full sword. So that fits real nice. Let's try the half sword. So that fits okay, but it's obviously a little bit loose because it's only half of a sword. Now let's compare this guy to the original Skeletor. So right away you can see some pretty big differences. You can see the skin tone's a little bit different color of blue. And then the face looks quite a bit different. And this face looks really cool. Although some of the paintwork on the face isn't the greatest. Around the teeth here it did get a little bit sloppy. But overall I think it looks pretty good. And definitely looks a lot closer to what the cartoon looked like than what this face does. The armor on the Super7 figure has a little bit smoother surface. When you compare the two, there's more detail on this armor. It also seems like the shoulder portions of this armor should be up a little bit higher, like up in this area above the shoulders. It seems a little bit weird being this low. If you look at the cartoon version here, you can see that the shoulder armor rests on the top of the shoulders. Another thing I'm noticing with the armor is it's kind of hard. It doesn't seem very pliable. It seems like if I was to try to bend these down, that they might actually just break off. As far as the waist armor goes, it feels actually a little bit softer. It's like the material on this isn't quite as thick, so it's more pliable. Let's see the power punch feature. So if we twist them back and let go, does the power punch just like the original figures. And I really like that they did that. That was always a fun feature with the original figures. So the power punch feature on this is a little worn out, but it still works. You can see the arms are a little bit different on the original figure. There's actually more detail on the bottom of the arm. This actually would match the Filmation version better. Just more of a regular arm that's blue. And then the boots are quite a bit different as well. So if you look at the boots on this guy, he has kind of a three-toe shape to his boots. And on this guy, he's got more regular shaped feet, just like in the cartoon. So the articulation on this guy is going to be pretty close to what the original Skeletor was. The head can swivel back and forth, the arms can move around, and then the legs can move around as well. So the legs on this guy seem to be on some sort of ball joint or hinge. You can see it right there. There's a hinge. On the original figures, that would have been a rubber band that connects the legs together. So here's the original figure, and there's the band that connects the two legs together. So the joints on the legs is a nice upgrade. I don't have to worry about that band wearing out over time. Now I did try taking the arms off of another Super 7 figure like this, and it was super hard to get that arm back on. In fact, I almost broke the figure, so I do not recommend trying to take the arms off. You might not be able to get them back on, and you might break it. Let's go and take the armor off on him. Comes off just like the original Skeletor armor. So this armor is really stiff, and I kind of mentioned that earlier. So here's one flaw I'm noticing with this figure on the top of the arms. This looks like maybe where they injected the mold. So that's kind of a bummer that it has blemishes on it like that, brand new from the factory, but from the front side you really can't see nothing, so when I'm displaying this, it'll still look okay. When comparing the muscles between these two figures, they look very, very close to the same shape and size. So it looks like they did a really good job in matching the contours and shapes of the original muscles. And these guys are also the same height, standing at 5.5 inches. And here's a quick comparison next to the as seen on TV version of He-Man made by the Super 7 toy company. So as you can see here, this He-Man has a lot of the features that had been seen on the cartoon version of He-Man. And this He-Man did come with a half sword, just like Skeletor did here. So let's see if those two halves go together. So He-Man and Skeletor's sword combined together to make a full power sword. So overall, I think they've done a great job with this figure. My favorite part about this figure would be the head. I really like how this looks, and it really reminds me of the Filmation version of Skeletor. As far as the rest of the body goes, I like it. I like what they've done with the boots. Maybe my biggest complaint with this guy would be the chest armor. I don't like how the pads for the shoulders rest down low right here. They should be way up here. So I was able to purchase this guy for right around 20 bucks, and I think that's a very fair price for this figure. Okay, it's now time for me to go. If you liked this video, if you could hit that like button, and please subscribe, and have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time. Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction, as seen on TV. Skeletor's first animated appearance was on an early television commercial for Castle Grayskull. The commercial's toy-accurate costume and glowing red eyes were simplified and stylized for animation, and his sword was eliminated, making the Havoc Staff his primary weapon.